If Christ is not the center of your courtship, then that means what you're doing is quite contrary to what is desired. Welcome to the show. Today we're going to talk about courtship again, but part 2. And to help me in this discussion is my friend Herman Tambo Vipi, our resident
Salama
guest.
sana bro.
Have you been?
I've been good, and you?
Have been good.
Siku mingi.
Karibu sana. Next to him is Yvonne Alfreda Atieno Odipo.
Yes.
Kuna ingine imebakisha? Si lelo. Karibu sana.
Nitakuombea
Karibu sana.
uchokozi.
Karibu sana. Next to me is our long gone friend. Welcome back, Gloria Bonariri.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm very fine.
You're why are you
I'm
acting
fine.
modest right now with
Fine.
me? Anyway, karibu
Yes,
sana.
thanks.
Next to her is Elder Edward Makumba. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you.
Karibu sana.
Thank you.
We're
And
going to
you?
talk about, I'm good. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank
At
you.
least umeulizia bana. You know, watu wengine hapawezi ulizia.
It's
but
been
it's-
long, for sure.
Bana. Thank you so much. We're going to talk about courtship part 2. Please join us in this conversation on our social media handles. That is Facebook Hope Channel Kenya, and on Twitter is at Hope_Kenya. You can also find me on Facebook, that is Samuel Mangi, and on Twitter is at Sami Mangi. If you missed this show, you can find them archived in our YouTube channel, that is Hope Channel Kenya. And also you can find this on our website, that is www.hck.co.ke. Now, back to our conversation. Please don't forget to start with the hashtag, the identity hashtag month of love. Now, in the last discussion, we were talking about, it was more of a mambo jumbo on courtship. But then, there's something that kind of takes us off. In our African society, we are all meant to believe that a man should be the one who pursues a lady. But then, it has come to an age where women say, what a man can do. Please hold the mic. A woman can do better. Now, so this man,
Siamini lakini it's alright.
it has been to the public perception, rather to the feminists who are watching.
Yeah.
I believe you can you can say woman can do better. Does this also cut across to the pursue HT? Ngoja HT ushakatiwa na dem?
Hata sahi.
Okay, sawa.
Siko sure kama alikuwa ananikatia.
Alifanya?
Hiyo tunaweza ongea during the short break.
What do you think?
Personally, and I'll just speak for myself. I don't think it's good. I don't think it's natural, and I don't think it's sustainable.
What do you mean natural? As in, Koni, what you can do is also, what is so hard about a lady coming and telling a guy, Niaje, I think, you know?
The right person.
Well, Sammy, you know you're poking me in very
Indecent ways.
you're pushing me. I don't want to. Okay, anyway, what I mean is this. What I mean by natural is this. We have been created differently. I have a beard. A woman can also have a beard, but
Until the woman has a very good full beard.
yeah, but that will not be normal. When someone sees that, they will be, what's happening here? But that's even biology. What you're talking about is about psychology. The way we are and the way women are, we are different. In as much as women can do everything we're doing, but they don't need to do everything we're doing.
Gloria, I think you can second me when I'm saying a woman can also do it. I'll see you, please hold the mic.
Well, of course, a lady can do it.
Why?
There's
So-
no problem.
Why?
There's
I
nothing
mean,
wrong,
when
isn't
you
it?
see something good,
Go for it.
go for it. You know, someone
feel-
else can snatch it
no,
from you.
No.
Well, ladies can also do the same. If you see something good, you can go
for
for
it.
it
Sindio?
before it's snatched.
They can, but should they?
I mean,
Why not?
what is holding you back?
No, Alfreda,
Sammy, we might spend the whole episode on this.
we need to know this, or else you'll find our dear sisters changing from being sisters and being the hunters.
Personally, I don't think you can go for it, but you can place yourself strategically in a manner likely to suggest. Yani, like the way the sunflower opens itself for the sun to come.
Now, what are you talking about?
No, you unachezea tu hapo tu. You don't have to say nani I love you. Chill.
But what you're trying to say is that you can also
Go
do
for it.
No.
Basically.
Personally, I like being hunted. Don't want to be the hunter. It's too much work.
Edward,
That's your way.
I think the girl power right now, that is rather the girl movement that is all over the world, is like, go for it. There's nothing wrong. Look at that mentality. There's nothing wrong. And there, you know, if you want something, go for it. You see, you want to get.
Now, that one, you see, a challenge has always come. The first challenge is, let me say, the kind of education we receive. It is changing our ideas. It is changing what is naturally accepted.
Natural again.
Naturally accepted.
What is this? Okay.
Now you see,
I need to bring this whole aspect.
let me bring it from this point. There is a principle for everything that happens. There is a principle, and let me begin from standard 6, class 6, the solar system. God designed systems, and they have rules and regulations, and so each and every system, the digestive system, yes. The system of the mind,
The relationship system.
the central nervous system. Now the courtship system,
Yes, let's get there. Let's get there before you
the
start
courtship
running.
system. I don't want to run away from that, but the point is, in pursuit of who does this. Let me give a very good example. We are addressing Christians, and we invite Muslims also to listen to this because it's very important.
Amen.
Now, point number 1. Look at when you read in Genesis 24. I can't read my Bible, but I can't read. I just want to do it verbatim. When you read Genesis 24, it is Abraham who sent his servant to go to look for his son, a wife. Look at that. It's not Rebecca who came looking for Joseph. So I'm talking to the modern Eves. Listen, I'm talking to the modern Eves. No, I'm a modern Adam in that case. I want allow me to talk to the modern Eves. I want to talk to the modern Eves. One thing that happens, and what she was saying, it is a principle of the world. Now, children of God, who every morning have to be aware that God created us. We cannot parade ourselves so that we can be hunted for.
So no, let me get this. She's saying that okay, you're not supposed to go for it, but jiwekele tu mahali fulani, si ndio? HT kuna kitu nakuuma.
I just wanted to agree with my elder and even give another example. The Bible says, therefore a man shall leave his father and mother and shall cleave unto his wife. It's not a woman shall leave her father and mother.
No, that's please hold up the mic.
Yes. The point that I'm saying is that the responsibility has been placed on the man, and it defies nature. It defies nature when the woman starts doing imagine if Rebecca was the one going to look for
Afanya kazi 7 years to understand.
that would not have been right. So anyway, that notwithstanding, I also want to say what Gloria said is very, very wise. A friend of mine once told me this, that when a girl shows first interest in you, Ananza, what is the word he used? He said, when the girl is the one who's showing active interest, let me put it that way, active interest, calling you, texting you, that kind of thing, she looks less attractive than if you were the one who was making the first move. That's what my friend told me, and I want to associate myself with those sentiments.
Oh, okay. So a lady is less attractive. Okay, please hold the mic. History na kuuma manze.
I don't understand how I'll become less attractive when I say, HT,
Okay.
how was your day?
HT,
How are you doing? What, I'm less attractive? What do you mean?
HT, please hold up the mic. I also want to say this. Okay, go
What
ahead.
I mean, I don't mean ati sasa anaanza kukaa vibaya. It's just that
Less appealing.
it's not as exciting, because you see the excitement is in the mystery and in the uncertainty. Sasa when all that uncertainty is removed, then there is no longer an incentive to work hard, if you know what I mean.
Allow me to add a statement. Allow me to add a statement to what the HT is saying. You see, as we are seated in this panel, there is a very small difference among us. A very small difference. Now, what actually was explaining is that this difference will either be negative or positive, depending on how the approach has come. And so if the approach has come in an unnatural way, it will be negative, and that is what he's saying. It will be less attractive. Now, the smallest difference I'm talking about is attitude. Look at actually what changes is attitude. Because naturally men, we are meant to pursue. Now, somebody comes and makes an active interest. You see now the attitude will change. Yeah, you see in the mind you shall have concluded, and I'm speaking as a man. You shall have, yes.
But I need to get this. Amelisema tena wacha nirudi. But then, okay, we can say it's all natural. It is all from Genesis. Let us not be taken with changes of time. Sindio, fine. But tunapata HT na... So, no, HT seems slow. But, for example, please hold...
Can I add a point before HT speaks?
No, HT is not speaking at the moment. But naturally, HT ako slow. Si tuko slow. But, unapata tu mwanaume ashiki. Ama unapata tu, yani, kileo kwingine, and it's his time to, you know.
He's an entrepreneur, I think in business.
Manze, I realize...
Allow me also to react to what my sister said. You see, Rebecca, for her to be found, she was at the right place and at the right time. It was an evening for Rebecca.
Preach.
So what happens, please don't be on an afternoon before it's an evening. What I'm trying to do... Yes. So that now, let me give a very practical example. Like, so if you are thinking in that direction, find yourself where the purpose can find you. So like, you can't go to a club and you're going to, you are saying now, I want to show active interest in the wrong place. No, be in mission, be in the identity show. Amen?
Amen. Ladies.
Identity is also not a bad place.
It's not a bad place.
It's not a bad place.
So what you're saying right now, it's natural, and it's supposed to be a man who pursues, isn't it?
Sammy, we have ladies on set. Can we ask them what usually motivates them sometimes to do that? Because it's not right. It's very wrong.
Okay.
Very wrong.
You can speak on behalf of. Do not worry.
You know, as I said earlier, when you see something good, get a
Go
hold
for
of
it.
it. Yeah. Don't let it go. Now he has said clearly, she was on the right time and the right place. That's Rebecca in the Bible. Now you see a guy, he has no interest in you, but you see something so good in him. So you place yourself strategically, but he's not seeing. So what should you do? You ignore. No, I can't ignore. I'll go ahead and say hi.
My brother.
How are you?
My brother. Let me bring you. Let me serve you.
If he doesn't have interest,
don't force it.
Personally, this is what I usually think. Hiyo kitu either iko ama haiko.
But you might also find
but
you can also find maybe this guy had some interest, but he's really shy not to tell you, or he can't say.
Sasa, that's
but
a
now
problem with
you've
that
stepped
brother.
ahead.
That brother has a problem.
God, I love this conversation. I didn't know what. Okay, this is really elder.
Yes. Thank you so much. Now we have two types of eyes. We have the natural eye and the spiritual eye. You see, what we are explaining, it's a spiritual topic. And it does not require for me to add respect for me to see clearly. No, it requires me to first to go to the one who created me. What is his purpose for me in my life? You see, there is always a challenge. Let me give an example. Jeremiah, even before he was actually formed, God knew him. Before he was born, he had ordained something for him. In the process of being in pursuit of my purpose, this one, actually, there is a biblical principle. Whatever we are discussing should not parade itself, should not stem from self-motivation. It should not self-motivated. And so as she was saying, that if this man is not interested, have you prayed and you've been shown is the one? Have you been talking about
what
it
you've
before?
just said will bring me to ask Alfred a question. you're the one who you started this crusade of, if you're not seen, or if haionekani, what you do is that you place yourself. Kama ulikuwa tumeketi huko nyuma, anza kukorista. Anza kukorista. Alafu ununue zile ngongo nzuri uonekane. Si ndio? I'm not teaching anybody else. I'm not teaching someone, but I'm just saying, you know, ujitoe huko uonekane. In short, unajieka. And he's saying it's not about, yani there's just that natural spiritual.
I think amku nilielewa na story ya kujiweka.
Sasa si ndio
Mangi, I have seen you for a while. I know you're a good guy. I know you have characteristics
Amen.
of God and all that.
My point in one way or the other.
And then I'm like, lakini umse hanioni.
Is a potential.
He's a potential. Lakini that guy sits
He's
on the
not
left
seeing.
side of the church and you sit on the right. Always. So what do? Karibia tu hapa katikati. Wakati wa lesson say, hi Mangi, how are you?
No.
You're fine. Sawa sawa. Anajua, kuna msichana leo alinisalimia. Si ati you start, oh my gosh, see myself. See,
Mr. Mangi,
no.
I'll forget
That is not
this.
what you do.
Before you forget, so that remove
I'll forget this. What
Briefly.
she's saying, I want us to be careful. What you're actually saying, initially you have not been choristering, but because you realize you want to trap someone,
that is-
you start now.
That's
That is
self-driven
no,
one.
that is dramaaship. That is drama from I don't know if something like dramaaship. That is acting. Are you getting this? And very many people have acted after they have succeeded in their mission.
They stopped the act.
You see, they start living. Man, if I'm told to divine man is sin. Because there's nothing we do that is right. Now, we were created a little lower than angels. Now, after I've accomplished my mission, you see, I go back to my life. I go back to whom I was naturally. Now, practically.
Ulikuwa switched on, so switched off. Now back to who you
Sasa,
are.
now I will be living a little lower than a demon. Look at that
Hey.
life.
And I think it is more safer not to like just draw the line and say it's natural for a man. Woman do not pursue. Instead, place yourself. To that guy who does not say, I think it's safe to end it like that.
Yeah, but
And
it's not only about placing yourself. He said about praying about it.
Prayer.
It is very important. Unajua saizi tunaongea, yes, this is real life and all that. But even as you're doing the whole placing yourself strategically, like becoming a friend. I'm not talking about forcing yourself
cool.
into that person's situation. I'm talking about basically making sure that this person at least is your friend as you're praying to see if this person actually supposed to be with you.
When you say prayer, it overacts everything. One question that comes on board right now is, we are here struggling to impress this man or this lady. We are making all these pursuits. But are they Mr. and Mrs. Right? Kuna mentality ka HT. You imagine that kuna Mrs. Right somewhere with all these 95,000 qualities in your bucket list.
Actually, it's 96,000, but I'm kidding. Yes, everyone has expectations, and I believe because we don't all like the color brown or the color green or the color white, I don't think there should be anything wrong with having those expectations. I believe the problem is when those expectations become unrealistic, and by unrealistic I mean we are expecting perfection. You see, the problem with expecting perfection is that I myself, I cannot deliver perfection. So in as much as we may have our blueprint of what we expect our special someone to be like, let us always beware of being expecting too much with that blueprint.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that. But then I want to pull back again and ask again one specific question. Is there that mentality, Gloria? Is that the mentality of the one? As in, umemetu mjamaa and he's all these good things. And you cannot see any other person apart from him. As in, and you're Mr. Right. As in, all these Apple.
All in one place.
Yes.
There is no Mr. Right. but there's that person who feels your need, what you wanted.
Mm-hmm.
He's prayerful, yes. He's God-fearing, yes. I think that's one and the same thing. He's handsome, yes. He's tall, dark, and handsome. Yes.
I have a question.
But now, he won't fit the characteristics that God wants for you. You know.
Sasa na ule mwenye ko short, light and pum pum tunamweka.
There is someone for everyone.
Sawa. Elder.
Thank you. Allow me to, everything we discuss as a Genesis.
Mm-hmm.
The genesis of what you are discussing, actually, it is Adam. Do you know what Adam was doing? Was busy counting animals and giving them names. Yeah. Then God saw it's not good. Now, look at this. If it's not good, it was bad for Adam to be alone. Now, Adam was not lonely. Let us get one another here clearly. Adam was not lonely. He was alone. So God saw it is not good for Adam to be. Now, God did something. I will make him as suitable. Now, opposite of suitable, unsuitable. Look at this. So what you're discussing about Mr. Right and Mrs. Right. Now, I have to go back to God again because you have said there is that suitable. Of course, the underlying factor is no man is right. And let me finish this in a statement. So that now what will bring us to the point where we'll be talking about that suitable. You see, like Adam got his roast rib back. His rib was taken and then it came in the form of a beautiful being. So all of us, the three gentlemen I'm seeing in the show, we are anticipating for God to bring to us our roast ribs. Number
Wherever
2.
you are.
Yeah, point number 2 again. As I finish, I get you right. I guess.
Please.
Now, finally, she has mentioned some of the Mr. Rights. Now, in that case, in the context what we are in, must be an aspiring man, must be God-fearing. Yes. And in the process of God-fearing, you must be honest. A man must be integrity. You need to.
We are coming to trade.
Yes.
Please hold it right.
Let me hold it.
I feel the urge, but now before we go to the trades, Yvonne, is it wrong to have your bucket list of your desires? Is it wrong?
Kuna verse kwa Biblia ilisema.
Ndio. Please, semaga tukifuguo.
Mbona sasa hiyo verse imepotea kwa kichwa yangu?
Tumemwambush tu hapo
Umeniambush your part, but present your plans and your whatsoever before commit your ways. Commit your ways. Personally, my ways includes my bucket list. I already have this what I think is good for me. Personally, I always say that you will give God that bucket list and I think he will take out the things that are anaangalia what is nonsense hapo hivyo anaitoa na anajaza what is supposed to be for you as a person, what is your compatible partner. Unajua yeye ndio anakujua, he's your creator. So yes, you will have your own bucket list. Personally, I had so many.
You find very unrealistic and
some of them were very unrealistic. But in reality is every single human being, there is something you're looking for in someone. That is the reality.
HT.
There's kabla HT aingia. Wacha tumalize point. There is something you're looking for in someone. Yes, you will have that list. You will go to God. God, I have this particular list. When the time is right, please give me someone who you believe is okay. And kama atakuwa na hizi vitu nitashukuru. But I believe you have also someone in store for me who has probably way better. Higher. There is a moth.
No, that's a butterfly.
Someone who basically has the characteristics that belong to me. Amen. Someone who God has created for me. Akiwa na hiyo list.
HT. Briefly.
First of all, it was not good. Maybe the moth wanted to join us on the show. About the list, I think it's necessary. It's necessary to have one for the simple reason that if you do not know what you're looking for, anything will look good. I've had this problem before where I used to think that as long as a girl is God-fearing and she looks like she is sober.
What do you mean? What do you mean she looks like sober? Somebody's watching.
She's almost sober. Then hizo zingine tutasolve baadaye. But I discovered when you're so generic like that, you're going to end up being confused. Because now I see Gloria, I'm like, oh my, silali, sikuli. I see Yvonne, I'm like, oh my goodness, appetite. But you see, I believe that part of having the list, in addition to also knowing what you are looking for, part of the reason why it's important to have a list is so that when you do meet someone, you if they are not fitting, then you do not waste time. You do not waste their time, and they do not waste yours.
If they are not fitting, they do not waste your time, and you do not waste their time.
However,
also, one thing.
Can I finish? Sorry.
Briefly, tunamaliza.
Yeah, she said nonsense. I don't think it's necessarily some things that we expect are nonsense. I just think it's more of some things that we want are not necessary. Which even if we were given, we would not enjoy it.
I'll bring you in that sentiments. One thing that is evident and prudent is that God will give you what you need, not what you want. It's good to have that bucket list, yes, but then that is not God's marking scheme. Join me after the break and be blessed with the talent.
Though it may be hazy, I'm pretty much sure you have a picture of the time when you took life easy. Ulipenda tu kubarizi na usingizi. That was a time when you'd want to do something good, but you weren't quite understood. By the meso, we can simply say that you were misunderstood. When brotherhood and sisterhood weren't quite in your characterhood, you just like to hang around your hood and with that jacket of yours with the hood. Moving from boyhood to manhood and girl child to womanhood, that was teenagehood. Sometimes it was really cool to be in a predicament like not finishing your assignment. The teacher gonna give you a punishment, but the students will lift you up with a compliment. It was when it was frustrating to study biology, you put aside your theology, you were addicted to technology and pornography. You knew all the big venues for all the big events, but not quite good in your geography. That was a season in time when you only cared about your homie, Roni, and Suzy, your roomie, kuku atu mrui. Now I remember I really preferred to post on my Instagram rather than look for someone by Billy Graham. I mean, you listen to Billie Jean, so you're thinking if I can't change my jeans, I can change these things called skinny jeans. Not really thinking towards the adorning of the inside. Or you want to change your wardrobe, but not really to put on his royal robes. Teenagehood. I remember I loved to Facebook rather than face the book, the holy book, the book of books. The book that was before any book became a book. You expected everything on a silver platter, or should I say with a snap after a chat with your mother on Snapchat. Post it with all the love hearts and all these flower hearts and puppy eyes and Photoshop a photo of you floating in the skies. See, people would say it is popular to smoke and drink and choke with YouTube links, send a couple of winks, and you wouldn't realize it until you started to sink, until you started to stink. That's when you'd start to think that surely I have crossed life's traffic lights. People will tell you, jibambe bana. But you see, YOLO only makes sense until the day you left solo and so low. That's when you start to think how hollow your life has become. Maybe if we'd look at it differently, say from the eyes of Joseph, who cared not for popularity or being called a celebrity. What counted was keeping and preserving his sexuality and keeping steadfast his integrity. That was his priority. Maybe from the eyes of Esther, the queen who just was a queen. You see, we'd stop fighting and acting and dressing just to be called slay queen. He is the lamb that was slain. I'm the child of a king. I don't need bling bling to show anything. See, teenagehood is the make or break. It's when your faith does shake. So are you gonna be another statistic and make another mistake? This is the moment to ask Christ into your hearthood so he can show you the things that you should. That's the greatest thing you could ever do in your teenage. Teenagehood.
Kuna mtu amekuwa KDF kwa set. Welcome back to the show.
Hatusemi ni nani.
Hatusemi ni nani. The show is The Identity. You're talking about courtship. And you can please interact with us on our social media platforms. Facebook is Hope Channel Kenya. On Twitter is at Hope_Kenya. You can also find me on Facebook, that is Samuel Mangi. And on Twitter is at Sami Mangi. Share with us on what you think about courtship. We can't talk about this extensively without your contribution, so please share with us. Kama mtu alikuwa amekula KDF ako wapi? Anyway. Now that now after talking about Mr. Right, HT, si ndio? Hatusemi ni wewe lakini sawa. After talking about Mr. Right and all this, I think there's something that also now falls after having that bucket list. There's some things that people look at that, as you said, are non-essentials. As you know, it's very important. Do you think like that? Because me personally think everything is very important. Everything is very important.
Everything is crucial, not even important.
Well, crucial is the word.
Yes, everything is crucial because there's this thing let me use the worst word. You pick a guy.
Well,
you pick a guy, you bring him into your life. You've just seen him in public. You have to have your first date in public. Yeah, so you just see him, he smiles at you, you say he's funny, he's smiling, he's always happy, he prays before you guys hit yes, he prays, he's God-fearing, God knows what. Then later on, 2 weeks later, he starts behaving as if sijui tuliokotana wapi. I just don't get it. So everything is crucial. Honesty, integrity, temperance, everything is crucial.
There's a joker, another comedian, who said this: there are stages in finding a girl or keeping a girl. One, you need to pretend. You need to pretend.
Which is not
good.
Wait,
let me build my case. You need to pretend. Why?
We'll fight about this.
Here's the thing,
Okay.
You look at Yvonne. She's all this that you want, you desire, isn't it? Yes. But then haujui kama mko very much compatible. Unaona hii kitu nzuri inaweza kutoka. What do? You fit in.
For how long?
No, wait, hold. You fit in. Let's for example, you like eating cake, don't you?
We all love cakes.
Yeah, okay, so you like eating chocolate. Hold up the cake. Hold up the cake. The mic. You like eating cake, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Me too. And everything becomes me too. Hence the reason why. Hence the reason why you start like that, and then you now eventually you bring out yourself. No, is it wrong? It is safe. Because somebody will literally say that you just don't go and say that, for example, you're broke.
You know something? I find out you are faking, I'll dump you.
No, so with the time, yeah.
All right. I will dump you there and then. Hati, you fake. And then, excuse me.
I'm sorry. I'm
sorry. By the way,
so there's no point. Okay, so how can you get to notice, or rather say, this is the right person for me, without all this faking it?
This faking it. You know you can
without,
actually.
because can you actually tell when somebody is faking?
Yes, you can.
Very clearly.
Very
No,
clearly.
for the ladies.
It's a chick thing.
No. HT.
Even me can tell.
Elder,
Man,
can you tell?
can't.
Can you tell?
Yeah, you can tell.
I'm not saying I can't.
You're all alone.
You're alone.
So what are these essentials? Tumaliza kutoka hii story. Elder, what are these essentials?
Hey, number one, we were talking about this person is right, and you know, there is something I want to begin. I usually in everything we discuss as a Genesis. That is always my statement of the statement of reference. Point number one: how God created us. There is some void in us. Look at that. There is some void. There is some vacuum. There is some emptiness in us. So unless this vacuum is surrendered to God, you'll always be making mistakes.
You'll be going looking for someone who's going to fill in, but they're not fit in with God's prescription, isn't it?
Yes. So there is that vacuum that is in us, and so unless it is surrendered to God, we can make 100% mistakes, and that is not the will of God. Number one, as young people, let us go to God. Give Him everything. There is a hymn written by us. I cannot remember. It says, "Take my life and let it be. Take my hands, take my everything." After that, now, having considered that now you have reached that age, you know, we talked about these things the other time. Now you can move to now that point whereby you have to consider a man whom you're looking for must be, number one, God-fearing.
Yes.
And you can know someone who is not God-fearing.
There's somebody will say. Somebody will say, you know, you meet your intended in. You can meet your intended anywhere. Kwa matatu.
Yeah, people
Kwa-
meet at a missed call.
Missed call. You know, this wrong number.
Wrong number.
So how can you really tell? Because as much as we were saying that yes, you can always tell how they're pretending. How?
May I react to that before HT comes up? Point number one: I'm not a creature that came out of accident. I'm not a product of chance. It's a design. So whatever happens in between, I mean, that is parading itself, very selfish. I mean, it is so rude. I mean, wait a minute.
Hey.
How can I confront her in a matatu? Come on, of all the places.
No, people meet anywhere.
No.
Ulienda, eh?
No, that is not the point. So the point I was saying, we are not the products of chance. We have always to meet where God desires us to meet. And point number one, it's at His. Let me give an example before it comes up. In the book of Genesis, chapter 3, verse 8, when Adam and Eve sinned, you know, they had God passing, they ran away. Now Isaiah records, God says, "Heaven is my throne, and here on earth is my footstool." So quickly enough, where do you think Adam and Eve, they ran from the presence of God only to hide in the presence of God? In a nutshell, if God is seated in heaven, let me explain what I'm saying. In a nutshell, if God if God is seated in heaven, and right here is where there is His feet. So even this identity show, we are doing it right at the feet of who? God. So everything that happens is at the feet of God. So we have to always go back to God. Now thereafter, what about women? I've talked about men. Yeah, and we'll talk about men. Men will advise men.
Men will talk about themselves.
Should I talk about women a bit? Ladies.
I know. HT.
HT.
You had something to
Let
bring
it come
before.
up.
About the idea of meeting a special someone in funny places. It can happen. It can happen.
It happens in
It
men.
happens. However, the elder is on to something. In fact, for a Christian, you are not supposed to be looking. You know, when you're looking, it feels like you're desperate. It feels like you don't trust God. It feels like you've taken matters into your own hands. And because our judgment is not clear, sometimes we'll make wrong decisions and we'll choose for ourselves. So I'm not saying that, you know, I just sit back and hope that a wife will fall from heaven. I would love it that easy, but I know that's not how it's going to happen.
A few weeks ago, I was with 3 gentlemen. One called Chris, another one Elder Omenge, another one Ronald Areba. Now, we were talking about broadly about courtship and all this, and there's something that he mentioned. Kuletewa pia sio mbaya. Na sahani yake. Now, and there's something that you're recording that looking for yourself is, you can also now, like,
Yes.
go wayward.
Yes.
Are you also hand in hand telling me that the whole idea kuletewa pia si mbaya?
Kwa Bible kuna watu waliletewa.
Actually watu wengi wenye tumeambiwa tu Adam aliletewa, Isaac aliletewa.
So me in fact ka kuna mtu anaweza let, if there's a viewer who anaweza
we shikia chia hapo. Elder wa chia hapo.
I'm kidding. So let me answer the I was just making a comment on that. So a quick comment on the question you asked, what are essential? I think what Gloria was saying, things that are altruistic, character, those are things that you cannot question, you cannot compromise. It's either here or there, and there's no halfway. It's not that he's honest sometimes, or she is prayerful sometimes. There's some things which is all or nothing. But then hizi vitu zingine, oh, she can sing, or he can you know, or
he's handsome,
or she is beautiful, or he is tall, dark and handsome. You know, of
short,
course,
light and pum pum. Now tetea, by the way.
Yes.
Short, light and pum pum. You're in that category.
Those are things that you can go without. Of course, there are some things which are also in a gray area, like the ability to cook. For some of us.
Yes. Okay, ngoja. Alfreda, why you all laughing about the gray area?
Why is it grey? Kama unapenda mwenye anapika, usipate tu mwenye anapika. It's as simple as that. There is nothing like.
But why should you not cook?
There are people
Why should you not learn how to cook?
How do you? Now this one is as a woman. How do you marry a chef and you insist you can cook?
No, you know. Okay, sasa.
Something Elder said that I wanted to add on.
Yeah, please.
Something about you being God fearing. Most of the time you always say, "Oh, you complete me. Oh, I complete you." There is nothing like I complete you, complete me. I can't fool you, can't fool. We combine 1 + 1 is equals to 1. So there is nothing that I was half full. I am complete. I know myself, and I'm filled. He talked about that empty space. I'm already filled by God. You're filled by God. He is the center. Tunaenda hivi, tunakutania huko.
So basically what you're doing, you're complementing each other in the journey of.
Yes.
Hey, here the mic drop.
There's nothing like at you. I complete you, you complete me. There's nothing like that.
I've heard some lady saying ati you'll help my spiritual life.
How?
I've not been praying. That is not right.
So wait, now that you've brought that up, last week tuliongelea kitu Gloria. You said your boyfriend evangelism ni mbaya. Girlfriend, yani I come meet you like, oh yeah, you're all these good things, but in your spiritual journey, kuna. Now that is the gray area. Now, please hold up the mic. Is it wrong really to like to bring you on board, contain you, and then preach to you, Nicolete steps to Christ, all these good things, but you still cherish a certain specific sin in you, like drinking, for example. Is it wrong?
So why was I brought to that person to mold him?
No,
That was God's work.
No, that is God's work to mold. But then,
Because
Najua,
now
I love you.
When the Bible clearly says, man shall leave his home, lady shall leave her home, they come together. You know, God has brought you.
It doesn't say lady shall leave her home.
Okay. You shall leave your people and come be one. Is it? Just give the whole verse.
Paraphrased.
Therefore shall a man leave his father and mother and shall be joined unto his wife, and they shall become one flesh.
Yes, even as man, now man generally, yeah, even the lady is included. You've left your home. He has left his home. You're put under one spotlight. You're walking by yourself to go be together. You are growing together. Not come, I pick up from where you were left. That's not what's supposed to be done.
Okay, I get your point. Now maybe I can bring in elder. Sabu, you find people who will say, you know, but how practical is what you're talking about? Because tunasema hapa, this is just a good talk, you know. So some people, it was a good talk.
In fact, the worst thing I want to regret of appearing in a TV show is to sit in such a very serious panel and gossip. Now,
Elder, wait.
Elder, please
Elder,
clarify.
before I bring you in, HT, is what you're talking about practical?
Very practical.
Is it real? Unajua, because somebody
It happens. It
somebody
happens.
will just go probably watch the show and say, "Man, you guys you have a good talk. It's a very good talk." Lakini reality ya chamunonge ni kama iko. Alfreda, is it real?
It's very real. It's very practical, and I believe that if there's anything we're saying here that has not happened to at least someone who's watching, then we can close this show and end.
Alfreda, before bringing Elder.
This one I'm giving as an example of my own. I always like doing examples with my own. Nilikuwa kanisani and
This is not gossip.
amen. May God bless you.
I was in church. I ended up getting a very fine gentleman, but he was
Amen.
not in you fine,
Oh,
character
Lord.
fine, singing. Alikuwa anasema singing, as in he was a good person. What he was not a Seventh-day Adventist as me. So what
You're
happens?
not yoked together in faith.
Yes, we were not yoked together. We were not equally.
Equally.
Yes, not
You were
unequally.
you were
We were
unequal.
unequally.
Uh-huh.
We were not equally yoked. So this person decides, hey, it's about time I get to this woman because I want to marry her. This guy goes, gets baptized, comes to church, and picks up. He was a musician, so picks up with the music and all
Anachukua
that.
akiwa hapa.
Hapa hakuanzia
Nyinyi mkiwa hapa,
huku.
yako hapa.
Alienda akafika.
Yaani mimi nikiwa hapa, yako hapa. Okay, sawa. Mimi nikiwa hapa alikuwa hapa. Okay, sawa.
Kaimangi. So what happens is I decide to actually take a break from this relationship to consider it completely. As in you actually know that I'm going to be with this guy. I need to be 100% sure that I want to be with this person for the rest of my life. And this guy, because I took a break, he also took a break from Hapa. He took a break from church, has never come back. So basically this person was baptized for me.
Yeah.
That is the one.
That is the
That is the one.
And unfortunately, that is what happens. And what if you go into your marriage and things happen? There's disagreement because there's no perfect marriage. 1 day, 2 days, asema wewe na hiyo kanisa yako kaa huko. 2 days down the line, the children are coming, there's pressure all over, and this person was not used to. You were not equally yoked. That is how they end up. You end up having separate families in the same house.
So what
Which
you're
is
talking
very
about
sad.
is very practical.
It is very practical. There's nothing like ati huyu ako nje ya church nitamhubiria ingie. It will not work. It doesn't work.
Gloria Gloria, hold up the mic.
It is not your work to mold.
It
Is really not your work to mold.
So we are not speaking about myths. This is a reality. So don't think that this is a good talk. It's for ourselves. It's for our own growth. If we do not realize, if we do not pay attention, realize, take notes, and have a reflection on our lives with Christ being here. We are just telling you about this. We can't be the measure of our faith, and we can't do that. But then it's for you to listen. Contribute to using our social media platforms. Then use what you're talking about as one of the two, three pillars that we have learned, you have experienced, and the 92 points that God has for us, so that we can reflect and have this not just a talk show but a live experience for each one of us. Elder, you're saying something before.
Yeah, thank you. I've really tried to pray so that I don't forget what I wanted to say.
Amen.
The first point, the human heart. Allow me to begin from where I had stopped. You meet someone in the car, in the matatu. Now you're following the inclinations of your heart. And the Bible describes a heart is exceedingly wicked. It is not only wicked, but it has exceeded wickedness. I think that is what the statement means. Exceedingly wicked. Now who can know it? Following from that point, the Bible continues to say it is only God who can search the hearts and they give you the desire that you need. I think that is very appropriate. Point number 2, I thank the Lord so much for human studies. There are four personalities that I want to just give the viewers a takeaway assignment to go and get to know. Who are these? Yes.
Media,
we have sanguines, we have melancholic, we have phlegmatic, and the last one is cholerics. Fine. Like me, I'm a choleric. Yeah,
Clearly.
somebody told me that, and they confirmed severally for a whole week that this is what you are, and I thank God because I know myself. You see, if 2 cholerics meet, these people will end up fighting. It will be terror. Because 2 cholerics meeting, watu wako na ile tabia ya tunataka kutulide, yani kucontrol, taking over. If these people meet in the house, let me that house itawaka moto. And that is why first you have to know the personality of your friend. That is very important. Even before you go to the parents, get to know you have been in church, like I've been in Kuzda, and we choir, we meet in choir, we meet when we clean the church. You are trying social, we have fun, social Sundays, and we interact from this platform, so that from there, before you introduce, now we were talking about some steps which we'll talk about later, of course, before you make it official. Now you're launching it, and when you're at that age, Sam is a choleric, Gloria is
sanguine.
Yes, look at that. And now there are those.
They are
I think
sanguines.
we are mentioning of terms. We are mentioning of terms that the viewer will go and get the meaning, what it means.
And actually, one thing I should actually thank Courtship channel, because you can, apart from researching, we have had a show on this that is going to talk that has already talked about this. Wind up.
Oh, thank you so much. Now I want to wind up on what you had asked me to say. Now we were talking about the traits of a man. Now what about ladies? Men. By the way, everyone should learn these things. It's a school that we learn. Cooking is not wrong. I can cook. When I was in university, I could do myself supper. You see, that is very appropriate. But then, when we talk about now someone you want to unite with in your future, must be a kitchen giant.
Okay, hold it. Number 2.
Keyword is giant.
Giant.
A beast in the kitchen.
Our time is quickly running up.
A kitchen giant, because homemaking is education and a science that will take us to heaven.
Time is quickly running, and I'm like, directors tuongeze tu wakati, but since I know how he's going to anyway, start kuongelea director. Now, there are very many traits that we have just mentioned, but a few. Hopefully, as you progress to watch the show, you'll get to learn more other things that we may not have packaged it as traits. Now we'll learn 1, 2, 3, but then you can get to pick a point after the other and combine them so that it can become a whole piece of meat, not meat, grain for you to chew. Anyway, now, but there are steps for courtship. What are these steps for courtship? Somebody will say, okay, Elder, again, please quickly take us.
Thank you. The first one is friendship. By the way, you believe there is one God, right?
I believe there's
you
one
do
God.
well. Now, even demons believe and they tremble. Now, you have to be careful whom you want to befriend, because not everyone who professes to be a Christian is a Christian.
Hey.
Look at that. So, friendship is very important. And
the kamoja tu.
I'm in charge.
Sansana.
I'm gone.
yeah, friendship. Friendship is very important. After friendship, you have now, because I want to be a noble man. In fact, I cannot abuse the coat I'm wearing.
Hey, you do
I want to be a noble man because this lady is beautiful. I go to the parents.
She's somebody whom you respect.
Yes,
You
respect. Respect.
She's okay.
And she's okay. Wait,
Respect.
When you're looking for a lady, you do not look for a okay lady.
No.
You're looking for the lady.
Friendship
the lady
is
who
very
you
important.
respect. Yeah.
She's just okay.
Where? Okay, anyway.
Friendship
Elder,
is
tuachana
important.
wewe.
And there is this syndrome that we are just friends. No, those are not people who are serious. That is leading on. So, with very serious friends, I'll put on my coat.
Mchezo yenye
Hiyo ni
tuteli
mchezo.
kuwapa saa hizi.
Yeah, and you know,
If you're here-
serious matters are serious matters. So the next thing is, I go to the...
Not just serious. heart matters are very serious matters.
Eh.
Very, do not.
You want to know the seriousness of heart matters? The seriousness of heart matters. Look at what God did to give his only begotten son. To establish, by the you know, those people killed Jesus, they thought that they killed him only to make him free to live in our hearts.
My director is quickly telling us that our time is running up.
Let
the
me-
se- the
let-
steps. for courtship.
the 7 steps. The first step is friendship. The next one, I have to go to Gloria's house, and you know, the parents for Gloria should know their friends for the friends. Yes, and my parents should know my friends, especially from opposite sex, because at my age I've finished campus. I'm moving towards that marriage. Then they can say, no, we see you guys, you're doing well, and no, please keep on being good friends. We wish to see you sometime. And as we check on now what God has for us in the Word of God, we will now go back again and tell the parents, you know, now we are that's courtship now where we're talking to one another. We will
it's
go for
friendship,
permission.
Permission, then courtship now.
Yes.
After seeking what God entails us.
Yes, courtship. Then thereafter go back to the parents. By the way, we see the will of God is in us. We have prayed, we've consulted. We have pastors who are able in this. We have elders who can guide. You look at this. Now we've seen it's important. Na ukiangalia age yetu imefika. We need to come. The Bible says it is not good for Edward to be alone. So
it is not
it
good
is
for
not-
Edward to be alone. Yes.
And I will argue for myself. I will argue for myself, and the parents would not fine. Please, we have given you an okay. Follow the next steps. So thereafter, after you've finished that, you've been given an okay. Then marriage comes. You start preparing for marriage.
So it is friendship, permission, courtship. You go and then seek for permission.
Yes.
Then you engage. Then you
My
go
friend-
for permission. Then lastly, we get to the celebration.
Those
where
are
we eat.
those noble men and women
The gentlemen that you're talking
that
about.
we are talking about.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. It is also not good for HT to be alone.
It is all.
And Sammy,
Wait.
Amen. Please, it's not Edward alone. Let me say it's not good for Adam to be alone.
Yes.
We are descendants of Adam. I think that one is okay. So after that, Sammy, now you can just alert me. There's a wedding in progress, and then we can keep on praying where we can. We can come around as friends and do something and
yes,
pray
Sammy,
for it.
please.
Uh-huh.
Alert us.
And
Wait,
HT,
wait.
please, and all of us. So actually, the point we are saying, if there is anyone who has done outside what we have said, that is a very wrong thing you're doing.
Please check
And-
your formula.
No, repent. In fact, you need to repent. You need to repent, decant, and recant, and withdraw all those statements.
Sawa.
No, in fact, that is not according to what God says, because it will bring.
Okay.
They are going to bring up children who will swell the powers of darkness.
Elder, now,
Let me hold up.
Let me now say this again for the last time for the viewers. And maybe you are caught in this moment where HT had to end up with an amen. It's you need to be friends, then permission, then courtship, then you seek permission from not from anybody else, from the folks. Of course, we also have this permission also comes from God, because we already searched Him in His words and given us the rightful way. After permission, engagement, then you go and seek. In African tradition, that's what we call introduction. Then after that, we have what we call a marriage. There's somebody who will ask why all this. Time is quickly running up. Why all these permissions from our folks? Because I was in Bungoma some weeks ago, and I read a quote somewhere that usiwe na haraka kabla ya kuuliza wazazi wako, maanake unaweza go off. Our time is quickly running up. We have
Number
to go.
niseme tu statement. Just a statement. In a
Statement to the
second.
second.
If you do contrary to the steps that we have highlighted here, you are stealing and you're breaking the commandments of God. You are not a child of God. So please, my sisters, don't go and be stolen. Be noble characters. My brothers, let us be noble. And this is the show. In fact, when we'll get to heaven, people will be witnessing what these people have been explaining, these things have gone through, and if they have made it at the end of the tunnel.
And that should be what we are supposed to live up to. Wind up. Time is up.
My last statement is to seek wisdom. You know, when Solomon was asked, what can I give you? He said, give me wisdom. I believe when we have wisdom that comes from God, then we won't even need this show. We need this show, yes, but it's more important to have that wisdom at an individual level. That way, you'll not become a thief, and you. No, you ain't gonna same.
Alfreda.
Before I say my last words, because
Ukisema last words inakaa. Final
kuna
remarks.
brother yetu anaitwa Sami Mangi hapa. He had a birthday. No, I have imeniwasha this time yote.
No.
We have
No,
some water.
no, cheki. Ngoja, wait. We need to wind up this show. We need to wind up this show.
He had a birthday and he didn't tell us. He didn't even invite us. And anyway, hata hakutuletea keki.
No. Asante.
Tunataka tu
No, cheki. Acha tufanye hivi. We are going for a break.
You need to cool down.
No, we need to go for a break.
So basically,
Need water.
kabla tuende, we actually really appreciate you, Sami. And because you didn't bring us cake, we decided
To bring
that we can bring you cake. So we will share. We will share.
Imagine ya kunywa.
Our editor-in-chief will come and bring us our cake so that we can share with Sami and wish him a longer life.
That is so
In the process,
Happy birthday
to you.
Happy birthday.
from all of us
Happy
here.
birthday. Akiko kwa nywele.
Von, in the process of celebrating some, allow me to just say a statement. Let us not to spend permanent things with temporary people.
Yes.
That is that is the general spending permanent things with temporary people so we can celebrate. Can I also do this and do it on?
Please do. It is so much fun. A lot. Yes. A lot.
By the way, he is my son.
A lot.
All right.
Hata huku, hata kwa ndevu,
All right.
hata kwa nywele.
Okay, fine.
Hey, watch.
Okay.
See,
Now I can say my final
Yeah, please
statements
give your
before we
final-
get to this. Okay. Personally, what I say, I really love courtship because I've gone through it. My parents had the chance to give my fiancé a chance to court me, so I am praying for the other parts. And it is beautiful to follow all the steps, Sami. It is very beautiful to follow the steps of courtship.
Shaking. Oh my God.
Yes, tumalize show.
Lisa, I can't even give my final words. I
He's
can't.
not fine. He's dying.
Sami, please.
Tumalize show.
I give my final remark.
I cannot. But
On
God
birthdays.
first, God first.
Amen. On birthdays, by the way, Sam is my son. He is my son. And on birthdays, parents should remind their children on how to actually do what you call a self-introspection and check themselves if they are in the faith. What has been your past record now? As you begin this new year again, as you add this or as you grow old, how do you wish your records to appear in heaven, my son? It's very important, my son. I wish to see this clip in heaven with the terrible exactness.
Final remarks as we wind up.
I'll finish.
Tumalize show.
I wanted to give you a handshake, my son. Just a handshake. May God bless you.
Oh, my final remark is that I would like to advise ladies. The way Elder said, we are being stolen. It is what is happening to us. And I'm thanking God for you, Yvonne, that you have a fiancé. It's very sad for some of us coming crying to you to ask you for advices, and yet it's us who is allowing this to happen to ourselves. Let's always be on our knees.
Amen.
That's all.
Amen.
Thank you.
We're going for a short inspiration segment. Stay tuned.
Hey.
Easy poor, by the way. Easy poor, by the way. Thank you so much for being with us in today's show. I can't say much about this, but then thank you. Share with us on your share with us your sentiments about today's discussion. We've been talking about courtship parts 2. Yeah, thank you so much. And msitishe keke juu watakula yote sahi, so thank you for being with us, share with us on what you think about this discussion, and thank you guys for your sentiments. Thank you so much for making me look like a clown on TV. But then God bless you. God bless you so much. Our social media platforms again is Facebook Hope Channel Kenya. On Twitter is at Hope_Kenya. You can also find me on Facebook, that is Samuel Mangi, and on Twitter is at Sami Mangi. This show will be on YouTube, that is Hope Channel Kenya, and also on our website, that is www.hck.co.ke. I can't believe I'm like a clown on TV, but thank you. See you next week. Thank you, guys.
Day to you.
Check.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear son.
Wait, what's it?
Happy birthday to you.
Wait, what's it?
Lazima mwanaume aoge.
Kata keki. Kule sasa.
Just not right.